Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this wonderful event put on by Bottom Line. My name is Angela Pagliuca. I graduated from Boston Latin Academy in 2006 and have been part of Bottom Line for about 6 years now. I never would have thought that my relationship with this program would have held strong for all this time, but it has, and for that I'm grateful. I grew up in East Boston, which is a busy, noisy city that most people know as the home of Logan Airport. However, for me, it was where I spent 22 long years of my life. There I grew up in a 3-story apartment that was owned by my grandfather. I lived with my mother, father, and 2 sisters for most of my younger years. However, what seemed like this perfect little family wasn't so perfect. Unfortunately, my father never played a huge role in my life. He was there in the sense of his paycheck, and he slept there, but that was the extent of it. However, I would like to think that through his absence, I grew stronger and formed a greater love and appreciation for my mother, who essentially was then a single parent raising 3 daughters all on her own. See, my mother was a hairdresser for most of her life, until the age of 30, when she developed emphysema and COPD and was forced into retirement. She then became a housewife, or as my father used to say, his maid. For pretty much my whole life, my mother was sick. But that never stopped her from being nothing short of the best mother and doing all she could for her 3 children. I became familiar with Bottom Line in my junior year of high school. I was never a great student in high school. I know I had the potential, but I never applied myself. As a result, many of my teachers would tell me I wasn't going to college because no one was going to accept me. I began to believe what they said, and it only discouraged me. So when it was time to begin the college application process, I didn't want any part of it. It also didn't help that I didn't have the guidance at home. Like I said before, my father wasn't there. My mother only went to grammar school back in Italy, and my older sister graduated high school but never attended college. So this just added to my discouragement and negativity towards college. Then one day, I was talking to my best friend, Sarah, and she told me about this great program that she was in that was helping her apply for college and get ready for her transition. I told her there was no use for me. I probably wasn't going to get in anyway. But thankfully, she was persistent and told me that Bottom Line was no joke. They can work miracles. I laughed and told her she was crazy, but I agreed to go with her to see what all the talk was about. I was really nervous at first when going there, but easily warmed up after meeting the friendly staff and being offered some Jolly Rancher candy that they always kept in the office. I was first introduced to Jackie, who eventually became my access counselor. She was so friendly, and she made me feel like I could get into college. She told me about schools like UMass Dartmouth and Salem State that had bridge programs to help students like me who never did too well in high school. I worked very close with her that summer and through my senior year. She helped me apply to UMass Dartmouth, UMass Amherst, and Salem State. What made me feel so comfortable at Bottom Line and with Jackie was that everyone there was willing to help me, not just Jackie. I remember going on college tours with Miguel, who made me walk halfway across campus at UMass Amherst, and Dave, who talked to me about the great summer program that Salem State had to offer. Although Jackie had other students, she was great at making me feel like I was her only student. And she continued to check on me to make sure I was getting my stuff done and submitted on time. Their commitment to me is what really motivated me and guided me to be where I am today. With Bottom Line's help, I decided to attend the University of Massachusetts Dartmouth through their College Now program in 2006. Never did I think after I graduated high school I would see the people at Bottom Line again, but boy was I wrong. They told me about the success program that they had and how counselors would come up to campus a few times a year, check in on me, send me yummy care packages, and thoughtful cards. I was so happy to know that I would continue to get the support as I transitioned into the college life. This was when I met Jeanette. She was my counselor starting my freshman year of college back in 2006. I must say that our relationship has grown so much through the years, and she has become a great friend and someone I can go to for guidance on just about anything. In 2007, my sophomore year at UMass Dartmouth, my mother was diagnosed with lung cancer. It became very difficult to be at school and focus on my studies. I wanted to be home with my mother more than anything. However, my mother reminded me of her wish, to see me graduate one day and become a successful nurse that can take care of the patients that were just like her. It was the hardest time for me, knowing I was far away and there was nothing I could do. There were times that I felt alone and like there was nowhere to turn. But then, my bottom line counselor, Jeanette, reminded me I'd always have a shoulder at bottom line. It was then, in October of 2009, when my mother passed away. And Jeanette was right there to catch me when she knew I was going to fall. My mother was my rock and #1 motivator. Regardless of her illness, and Jeanette was aware of this. After my mother passed, Jeanette constantly stalked me with phone calls, emails, and even visits. The visits meant the most. Knowing that she would take the time to come up to campus just to talk to me, to reach out a hand, meant so much to me, and I'm sure to other students as well. So thank you so much, Jeanette, for helping to fulfill the role of my rock and motivator through my college journey. So in the end, I realized my friend Sarah was right, because bottom line did work miracles. They certainly helped me turn my life around and showed me that regardless of my circumstance and obstacles I may face along the way, I should always strive to succeed. Their persistence and encouragement allowed me to get through the toughest times of my life. I can honestly say that because of this wonderful program and the phenomenal staff, I am in my final semester and about to graduate with a 3.5 GPA and a bachelor's degree in nursing. So thank you to all the bottom line staff, and especially Jeanette, for your kind words, billions of emails, great visits. Because of you, I was able to get in, graduate, and I am sure I will go far. Thank you. If Jeanette could just come to the side of the stage, I have something for you. Thank you.